grab your yoga mat or jump on a skateboard, but make sure you join us tonight. This is DXP Today.
Good evening and welcome one and all to another edition of this DXP Today. So tonight's episode is, well, it's a little bit diverse and it's certainly packed, that's for sure. From looking at the benefits of yoga to celebrating World Skateboarding Day, not to forget UAE Father's Day along the way as well. June the 21st in the UAE is when Father's Day is celebrated. Doesn't get much more diverse than that.
We're doing it all. And we also have a yogi and children's author joining us right here in the studio. Plus, we checked out the cutest new yoga workout, puppy yoga.
That's all I'm here for, basically. We're also going to be bringing you an exclusive chat with the magical mind-reading duo, Mind to Mind. And, of course, we have plenty of prizes up for grabs as well at the end of the show, so stick around. Tom, can I be the first, maybe not, to wish you happy UAE Father's Day? Probably not the first to wish you happy.
Yeah, no, I got a couple of nods of the head, a couple of grunts from a couple of the kids on. When was it? Sunday, wasn't it?
Well, Sunday was the UK and US, but today's UAE.
Oh, right, OK. Well, I don't expect anything today, that's for sure.
No, not celebrating twice.
Yeah, I'm not great with Father's Day. I'm sorry, I'm going to be a bit of a downer on that one. It's not one that we've always sort of. I don't know if that's a bit of deflection, so when I forget Mother's Day, that I can get away with not celebrating Father's Day.
I think it's. I'm gonna be that person. So commercial.
Of course,
so
it's commercial.
It is, but I also find it really hard to buy for my dad.
Yeah,
dads. Well, what do you get them? They have everything.
Yeah. I find it hard to buy for my dad as well.
Socks every time.
My dad always asked for. Didn't matter what he wanted a handmade card. That's all he wanted in life. My dad.
That's nice.
Did he get it? Not so much. Not so much.
We've got plenty to celebrate today and we'll do it as best we can. But thankfully we've also been joined and will be joined by some true inspirational guests. Our guest co-host today, first up, wears many hats. He's a thoughtful CEO, he's an Olympic coach and, of course, on the occasion of Father's Day, a loving father. So who is today's guest co-host?
Hi, my name's James Lafferty. I'm a father of 6, grandfather of 3, husband, CEO of Fine, and an Olympic coach. And it's my pleasure to be with you today.
James is going to be joining us right here on the desk very shortly to share his inspirational story with us, so stay tuned for that. But before we get into that, the ancient practice of yoga, as the girls were saying, is known to help cultivate and balance and, of course, add relaxation. But what happens when you add a puppy into the mix?
The best things ever.
We went down to the Stray Dog Centre to find out exactly what happens. Have a look.
My name is Fiona Watson and I've been volunteering with the Stray Dog Centre in Quain for over 8 years now. I run the adoption and the foster team for the centre. The puppy yoga session came about, it was the brainchild of our yoga instructor, Laura Pedder. She came to me with an idea over a year ago of having puppy yoga classes. This morning, for example, we had 15 pups from Stray Dog Centre and with over 20 participants. A lot of these participants have adopted from us in the past and I hope some of them may even adopt from us in the future. It's been proven that yoga is a wonderful way to start the day, to get the body into a nice, relaxed state. When you throw puppies into the mix, right, it releases all these happy endorphins. So puppies, yoga, what a better way to start your day. We have lots planned for the coming months. We're certainly going to do lots more puppy yoga classes. because people are really, really excited about it. And every class that we have had to date has been completely sold out. So you can expect lots more puppy yoga from us.
Hi, I'm Laura. I'm the yoga teacher for puppy yoga. We've been working on this for about a year now. I've been a yoga teacher for about 4 years. The participants are of all abilities, and we bring in the puppies from the Stray Dog Centre. So you'll find that they're not actually doing the yoga themselves, they are just running around as you are doing the stretches. So you have that opportunity to either do yoga class or to play with the puppies. I have so much happiness every time I leave one of these sessions. It's my absolute highlight of the month. And the fact that all of this money is going towards the charity is just absolutely incredible. The things that they do at the centre are amazing, and the fact that yoga has been able to tie all of these things together and create that happiness all in one place, I really couldn't expect much more.
It's absolutely fantastic. It's a bit of a therapy, so it's less yoga, more cuddles with the dogs.
It's amazing, like I said, because you have 20 puppies running around you the entire time, and if you're a lucky one like I was today, they're going to come and just like hang around your mat, and it's good, and it's extremely lovely.
It's amazing. It's very therapeutic, I would say. A lot of happy hormones around. Definitely an experience.
So as much as I was eyeing through that, I can just imagine it being absolute mayhem if I was to take my dog there.
Yeah, I'm not there for the yoga.
Yeah.
I'm literally there for the puppies.
Well, look, we are so excited to have our guest co-host here in the show. James, welcome. You, as we mentioned earlier, wear so many hats. You're a CEO of Fine Hygienic Holding. You also are a father, so happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you.
There's so many hats. Tell us about you and what it is that you do.
I'm just a track and field coach at heart. All I ever wanted to do was teach and coach track and field. I started my career as a fitness instructor in Procter & Gamble and was recruited into marketing and moved up into CEO roles in different companies, and now with Fine. I still keep my fingers close to the athletics world, coaching a couple of Olympians in track and field from the Philippines and some other countries.
Wow.
You mentioned there your role, your corporate role, currently with Fine Hygienic as well. So, and such an important role, not just within the company, but also the wider community as well. Especially when it comes to hygienic products. How much did COVID do for the industry of hygiene, and is it something that's continued?
Well, we use terms like hygiene because it's a bit of a euphemism. So you found out during COVID what was important. When COVID came, people weren't buying cars and that. They were buying toilet paper.
Exactly.
And that's one of our key products is toilet tissue. And so it was important because these are bare necessities. And one of the attractiveness of this industry is it's consistent. We sell diapers and we sell toilet paper. Babies go to the toilet 5 times a day, and that doesn't stop. So it's a very steady, predictable business.
You're always going to be in business by the sounds of it.
Absolutely.
That's what we're hoping for as well. I know we keep going on about you wearing all of these hats. I'm also fascinated by the fact that, you're an Olympic coach, but you've won so many awards for being a CEO, and you've worked in such high-level jobs in, 5 continents, I was reading?
Yes.
That's incredible. And so how is the sort of Middle East so different for you then, if you've worked all around the world?
It's interesting. I've always believed in the concepts of Buddhism and reincarnation. The minute I stepped into the Middle East, I felt like I was home. Right. And this was 30 years ago. You can't explain it, but I just felt like this was home for me. So I've always loved the region. This is my 3rd time in the region. I've also worked in Asia and Europe and other places. And I think the culture is fabulous. The people, the town is amazing. One of our factories in Abu Dhabi just set the world record for the fastest paper machine in the world. Wow. And you think these kind of statistics come from the US or Europe. the record previously was held in Turkey, and now it's held by the UAE. And it shows you how the dynamic talent, because this is a factory run by people from the region, and they've proved to be the most efficient factory in the world.
Wow.
It's amazing, right here in our backyard, so we're very proud.
James, I wonder, with all these different roles that you take on, being an Olympic coach for the Philippine team, as you mentioned, being a CEO, being a father, is there a certain method or approach that you use across all three?
No, I think the research has shown that the average person, you or I, have about 22 roles. A role can be a mother, sister, cousin, on and on. The key is you can only do 5 well. And so it doesn't matter if I have 30 roles, what are my 5? And coach is 1, CEO is 1, father is 1, husband is 1, and then philanthropy is my last. And those are what I do well. So people say you do all this stuff, but I'm very focused. I'm not the best uncle in the world. I'm not the best cousin in the world. I don't make every wedding back home in the U.S., but I focus on those 5 roles and do them well.
You prioritise.
Right, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather the box on the desk at the moment. What's this latest product?
Yeah, this is a great story. There was a video going around this region 5 years ago of a Lebanese guy, and he said he was 124 years old. His brain was sharp as a whip. He was hiking 5 to 10 kilometers a day. And I sent my team to go find him. And they went and found him. Now, when we checked the paperwork, he wasn't 124, but he was 108.
Wow.
And he had a 7-year-old son. So this guy fathered a child at 101. And he attributed all this tea that he made, picking these different herbs off the mountainside in Lebanon. And so we took the product back. And now I thought it would taste awful because it's supposed to be healthy. It actually tasted pretty good, but there's no data because no one's ever made a blend of eucalyptus leaves and the bark off this tree. Nobody ever made a beverage. So we ran a clinical study with the Medical Wellness Association, and it was shocking the impact it had on inflammation and the reduction in inflammation. Now, inflammation is really the scourge of today's society. I mean, the majority of the people watching this are inflamed. Inflammation is the backbone of cancer. It's the backbone of Alzheimer's disease. Even during COVID, when people were dying, what caused them to die was an over amount of inflammatory markers, cytokines. So they called it a cytokine storm. And so we basically took 3 years to develop this product, and we just launched it. And I wanted you to try it. Most people I'm getting letters all the time. People saying, look, I feel better within 3-4 days. And it's because of inflammation.
Well, I mean, obviously, Tom's very keen to keep hold of it. We're going to learn a little bit more, and you are going to stick around with us because I'm fascinated to know more. So, James, stick with us. Thank you so much. Coming up, we are going to find out how yoga can help you not just stretch the body, but unlock the potential of the mind as well. Stay right here.
Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to DXB Today, where we are now joined by the author and yoga instructor who's helped many find their inner peace and harmony. It's a warm welcome to Chandra Winzenried. Chandra, thanks so much indeed for being with us.
Thank you.
Very kind of you to take time to speak to us. Listen, we live in a crazy world. Fast-paced, mad, bad. It throws all sorts of hurdles at you left, right and centre. And yet, those that find yoga along that path seem to be able to be better suited to cope with some of those challenges. Talk to me about your personal journey. When did you find yoga and how has it changed your life?
Ironically, I found yoga during my university days when I was running track and field. And at the time I thought the coach was like a little extra for telling us to do yoga on top of our weight training and our running exercises. But now looking back at it, it's incredible, and I'm so glad I'm involved. It's part of my journey.
So it changed your perception on life, though?
Absolutely. It's just kept me super grounded, and it just brings a sense of peace in my life. And
wow, you are literally the energy coming off of you is amazing. You're like the happiest person I've ever met, and I'm me. That's interesting though, James, isn't it? How we were just talking about it, track and field, yoga. Did you use yoga much with your training?
We use it 100% with our athletes. I mean, I was telling Chandra, it's an integral part, not only physically and for injury prevention, but the breathing techniques like the Ajjayi breaths. This is important for athletes before they take a jump or before they do the pole vault. And so it's an integral part of our program. They did laugh a bit, like Chandra says, when she was back at university, but they learned it's also incredibly difficult, and you have nothing but respect. Go to a yoga class, go to an Ashtanga class, you'll have a whole new level of respect. These people are world-class athletes.
It takes a lot of discipline, and as we mentioned, there's a lot of history when it comes to yoga, but now there's so many different techniques and methods. You know, there's hot yoga, there's puppy yoga. Chandra, could you share with us what kind of yoga methods you use and how you've kind of found it?
Ironically, I started off with more of a westernized version of yoga called Yoga Sculpt, which was more dynamic and with like light weights and like kind of like more hyped up music. But then that was like the gateway to get me to go to India for Hatha yoga teacher training. So I feel like I have a beautiful spectrum of like more of a westernized style and then the more traditional. So
is there a nominal age that you can start yoga or not?
Honestly, babies already are like natural born yogis. Like they stick their foot in their mouth already. Like they're doing baby poses, they're doing down dogs, and they're doing tabletop poses already. So honestly, it's just about preserving that mobility that they already have and just carrying that throughout the years of your life to sustain and to preserve your life and to give you more vitality and mobility.
And I'm really interested about the book that you've brought with us, which Tom is so wonderfully modelling there. Now, you've written this book. Tell us, what was the inspiration behind it?
I think that the impact that yoga has had on my life has been so vast and so beautiful that I just want to share that to the kids and to all readers and just encourage people to be open-minded and then let them just get more open in their bodies as well.
Yeah, exactly. Is it available here?
Not at the moment, but I will be getting my book on Amazon and also debuting a second book because it's part of a series.
Oh, wow, it's exciting. Is that an exclusive? Can we say that's an exclusive? I've made it an exclusive. Thanks, Chandra. Very much indeed.
It very well could be because the second book happens to be in Abu Dhabi and potentially the third book to come will be Dubai.
Nice. So. Yeah. Well, look, Chandra, so much to learn from you. Definitely, I think Tom's going to take that book home for sure. I want to thank you so much for being here with us today and sharing your journey. Now, today's Spotlight, we do this little thing we love to just shed spotlight on all the incredible things happening around the UAE, and a husband and wife duo who ran the country's biggest fitness tech startups with over 110,000 users are focused on today. Here is our interview with the founders of Fits. It's Neha and Ben Samuel.
Hi, I'm Ben Samuel. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Fitzy.
Hi, I'm Neha Samuel. I am co-founder and COO at Fitzy. Fitzy is a fitness rewards app. It rewards users for taking steps. When we talk about fitness and well-being, there's one thing which is common, which is lack of motivation. And we are trying to solve that problem by incentivizing fitness.
When you are a tech startup, the biggest challenge what you face or the obstacle what you face is having the right tech team, because that is the core of the business. And we always believe that having a right team or resource is the most important bit of your business.
I would like to answer this with an example. So we were running a steps challenge on our application Fitzy, and one of the families, everybody in the family joined the steps challenge, and there was a father. He was 83 years old, and through lucky draw, he was one of the Fitzy winners of that challenge. He came to the office to collect the reward and said, your app is not just for fitness enthusiasts but for all, and we love this initiative. So that is something which motivated us to do what we do.
Currently, we are motivating people through our incentives program. The long-term vision would be, actually creating a sustainable effect on a daily basis for every user, every single user who is on the app. We will be growing regionally. The first expansion is towards Saudi, and then we move towards Egypt and other regions. Yes.
A good head-to-toe massage.
Same here, a massage, because it just rejuvenates you, and a sports massage, I would say.
There's no better short break than that. I think we're already doing our bit by rewarding people for their efforts, the efforts that they already take. All they can do is just download the app, enjoy the experience there, keep winning, and live a sustainable lifestyle.
So spotlight on all things fitness there, and how technology and fitness are coming together at the moment. Right, that was your spotlight. Time now to have a little bit of a roundup. It's over to Katie with the buzz.
Thank you, Tom. Yep, new research from Medical News Today has found that yoga improves cancer-related fatigue and lowers inflammation. Medical oncologist Dr. Bhavna Pathak says the mindfulness of yoga assists with a person's mind-body connection, with healing occurring both physically as well as mentally. Research shows yoga can aid with reducing high blood pressure, lowering stress, easing anxiety and depression, improving balance and coordination, easing back and joint pain, and getting better sleep. Well, sign me up. Right?
Well, they make it sound easy. Yoga is really difficult.
So difficult.
It really, really is. But what I love about it is, because I'm very much a beginner, I make it a bonding thing with my mum or my sister or with friends.
Right.
You go along, you can actually experience this together. But it really, really helps mentally, I have to say. It clears a lot of cobwebs up there.
I think there's a big problem with it as well. There's a misconception about yoga, and especially when we live in such a gym-inspired, a gym fitness-inspired world at the moment. A lot of people think, it's just not masculine enough for me. I'm not going to sweat enough. I'm not going to get enough of my energy out, etc. But, I mean, James, you're proof of the pudding that you do, don't you?
Absolutely, and yoga is difficult, but it's also built for everybody. And it's not just a mat. Like, I use blocks because I can't reach the ground, or I also use straps because I can't do the binding. It's for everyone, and you can find a class in Ashtanga, Vinyasa, Hatha, any of the different techniques, and get started. And if you can't, stay with it. The instructors are wonderful, and they'll guide you, and you improve every week.
I think that's the important thing as well. Is I know a lot of people who follow certain yogis on Instagram, and of course they think then they can just go straight into these positions and then wonder why they can't do this. I'm like, no, start small and work your way up. But it is interesting when, I don't know, what's this one? Warrior or something, isn't it? So in Warrior, and you're in a position, and then the instructor will come along and just go, no, just do this, and you go, oh yeah, there we go. No, it's incredible. But as we were saying earlier, like Tom touched on it must be so important. Is it like a base fitness for when you're training the Olympic team, I suppose?
I think it is, and the main reason is a number of my athletes were in their mid-30s, like Maristela Torres, who I took to the Rio Olympics. She was 35, the only mother and the only mid-30s participant in the Olympics in that event. And she was getting injured constantly, and so yoga was a part of the injury prevention program, as well as stress management. Breathing, we know breathing is an important part of managing stress, and when we're stressed, we will have shallow breathing. So the yoga techniques of breathing, as well as the actual moves themselves, have both that physical and mental impact. And I think it's a critical part. There is a group of coaches who kind of laugh at it, but they've never done it. Yoga will humble you quickly, and I think some of the most difficult physical moves I've ever seen are in yoga.
But I think also it's the internalization of yoga. The yoga focuses a lot on your insides, whether it be your inner organs or, of course, your mind, your brain, the way you approach things. Whereas, again, I go back to the sort of gym mentality when a lot of it is to do with the external. As long as the guns are big enough, then it doesn't really matter. So it's that combination is amazing, not just in track and field. I've heard so many examples of professional, international, amateur sports teams across the board who've turned to yoga as part of their training, and it's changed their whole approach, basically.
I can relate. I used to be a semi-professional tennis player.
Can everyone get the mics out and just drop them like that, okay?
No, it's funny, because when James was mentioning that, it took me back to a time when I was doing the weight training, I was doing the training on court, I was doing the cardio, but when they put me into yoga, it was a completely different aspect of physicality, and I felt muscles I didn't even know existed. So,
and as well, like you were saying with the mind space, and I guess as you say, if you're competing, that whole mind space around yoga has got to be so important. The whole meditation thing as well. I mean, I know if I've ever done a yoga class, the bit at the end where they may just make you lie on the floor, that's brill. Because it's true. I mean, I don't really take the time to do that, so it's nice.
So if you incorporate yoga as part of your tennis training, does that mean that you can never smash a racket ever again?
Ever again.
You just become a lot more zen, yeah?
Exactly.
When you get beaten, you go, no, you deserved it.
Yeah,
it's fine.
yeah, it wasn't my time. But we will be back after this break to chat with a skateboarding pro. We're really doing it all on this show today, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to DXB Today. We've been celebrating all things yoga with good reason, but it's also International Skateboarding Day. So, to celebrate, we're joined in studio by somebody who's incredibly talented, fearless and dedicated to the art of skateboarding. So much so, created his own brand. Please welcome Wathek Allal to the show. Wathek, thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much.
As I mentioned there, obviously, you know, you are a very talented skateboarder. There are many out there, but it takes a certain individual to create their own brand. You've done that with Precious Trust. Why?
I mean, initially I just started making things for myself. I was always making things for myself, like kind of drawing on clothes, or, you know, if I like something, I try to make it myself and all of that. And then my friends around me started liking it, and I basically decided to put a name onto it. And the more I did it, the more I enjoyed it, the more I thought I can, you know, involve my friends, the skate scene, you know, so I just started like exploring it more and more, and
I suppose it also means you can charge your mates.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it costs, you know, to make it. So I'm actually wearing what I make. So
that's one of your brands.
Yeah. So this is my logo, and then my friend from London, actually, he's an artist there. His name is Slon, and he painted over it. And,
you know, because most people would think that's, you know, really bad that he's just come over with a graffiti can instead. No,
it was painted on top, like I was wearing it, and then
no way. Yeah, okay, no, fair enough. Top, okay. Yeah. Well, obviously, we were talking. I'm going to loop James in here because skateboarding is now an Olympic sport. Obviously, we have an Olympic coach on the show. Are you going to be training for the Olympics? Are you?
Not really.
No, come on, James. Can you please get involved here?
We got to talk. We got to talk. You got to come.
If you can get me in.
Look, our office is all about risk taking. I got a quarter pipe in the office with boards, with helmets. Come on over, and we'll do some action together.
There's a collaboration waiting to happen here, isn't there?
We're just going to see them on the next Olympics. We're going to see just James on the sideline. Look, I think skateboarding is fascinating because I've seen so many videos online of tiny children skateboarding from a young age with the helmets on, with all the gear on. I'm terrified for them, but it really is a sport, and it's an art of a sport. When did you start, Wathek, and how did that all come into your world?
So I was always interested in skateboarding, like that whole kind of you know, graffiti, skateboarding, like that whole culture was very fascinating to me. So so back in the day, like I was in Syria, and it wasn't like something that was available to even watch. Like there was no skaters there. So as soon as I got here, I was like looking up like where I can, you know, just watch skateboarders. And then I met up with all the friends that I skate with right now, and I was watching them and got inspired by them. And but yeah, it's been about like 10, 11 years now since I started.
Because I love your story, as you say, coming from Syria, moved to the UAE, and you found this skateboarding community. First of all, that must have been incredibly important for you to find this community. Tell me a little bit more about that community right here.
I feel like that community is the one that made me kind of become who I am right now, because without meeting them, I wouldn't have been introduced to anything that I'm into right now. Even making clothes, like thinking that's even possible, or they've introduced me to all the friends I know right now, because skateboarding somehow is kind of connected to the art world here as well, the filmmaking, we all kind of like work together. So through skateboarding, I met, you know, a lot of the important people in my life right now too. It also kind of like gave me, you know, purpose to like fill up my time as well, you know, like
I love it.
School and stuff.
I love that.
Yeah, skateboarding, you were saying it's a unique culture. What were the elements of that culture that really attracted you? What was speaking to you when you first were exposed to the sport and you say, this is me? What were those things?
I mean, for me it was because skateboarding is a sport that you can do on your own. You don't need to do it as a team. There's no specific time or place, or you can just do it anywhere, you know. So I started with just doing it in my room and then downstairs from my building. So that's, for me, it's like very, very free in a way. So it kind of, that's the main thing that attracted me to it, is that you can just do it.
And that's what I find interesting. We're just seeing images of you out and about, you know, freestyling on the streets as well. And yet we know that there's been a lot of investment into the skateboard parks here as well, and facilities as well. Is that a good place for kids to get started when it comes to skateboarding?
Definitely. I mean, when we started, we had no skate parks and stuff like that. We had like maybe one. So now the more skate parks there is, the more people are doing contests, the more people are doing things for the skate community, because back then, you know, it was much more difficult. So I feel like now the scene has grown a lot. The amount of skaters have grown as well. So yeah, it's definitely improved for sure.
Good on you, Wathek.
It's fun.
Thanks so much indeed for coming in and telling us a bit more, especially on a day like this, World Skateboarding Day. Don't go anywhere, because this is the highlight of the show. Watch and learn this one, hey? It is Nimi's quiz.
Sit back and relax, Wathek, because this is the spotlight on James right now. James, we're going to do a DXB in 60, quizzing you on how much you've been listening to the episode today. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
No pressure, James.
Yeah, I know. Olympic coach, but can you handle this? In 3, 2, 1. What type of yoga did we feature on the show? Was it puppy yoga or cat yoga?
It was Papa Yoga.
Yeah, correct. Which husband and wife duo did we spotlight on the show today? Was it Neha and Ben Samuel, or was it Jennifer and Ben Kershaw?
It was Ben Samuel.
Yeah, correct. Which author and yoga instructor did we have on as a guest today? Was it Chandra Winzenried, or was it Melanie Diaz?
It was Chandra.
Correct. Which skateboarder did we have on as a guest today? Was it Tony Hawk or Wathek Allal?
It was my friend Wathek.
Correct. In which month is Father's Day traditionally celebrated? Is it June or July?
It's June.
Correct. Which superhero is often associated with being a father figure? Is it Superman or Spider-Man?
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess Superman.
I guess you're right. I didn't know it was either. What is the most popular gift given on Father's Day? Is it a necktie or cars?
It's a necktie.
Someone's got a really good budget there. What is the name of Chandra's book of yoga for kids? Is it Time Is Up? Okay.
That's called something else, wasn't it?
You did
Saved by the Bell.
Yes, 7 points total, James. You did well there.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no worries at all. I mean, I feel like the Superman thing was a bit confusing. But there you go, a necktie on the way for you all.
And a car for everybody.
You're definitely a 7. You're definitely in second place. Yeah, I think we can elevate you ahead of Adam, that's for sure. So in second place, you'll take that, won't you? You're on the medal podium.
Well, silver medal is better than bronze.
James, thank you so much for being our co-host. So Wathek, again, thank you so much for coming in. Good luck with the brand, and thank you both very much indeed. Right, coming up after the break is our exclusive with Mind to Mind. We've got a prize announcement and, of course, groovy tunes. Don't go anywhere.
Hello and welcome back to DXB, where every show we are joined by incredible entertainers right here in the city, and today is none different. Welcome to the show, Laporte Desi. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Look, one-man band, you've got your guitar along with you. I heard you playing a bit earlier. How would you best describe your music and your style?
I'm basically a singer-songwriter, so I've written my own songs. I've got a couple of songs on Spotify, and I play gigs around Dubai, like events.
So where can people find you performing in the city?
You could find me in Radisson Blu, Media City, every Fridays.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so the music-making process, tell me about that, because you said you write your own songs.
Yeah.
That's kind of like your approach to things. Where do you start when it comes to writing a song?
Okay, my songs basically are about life, life in Dubai, about... something comes in and I write it down and I make a song about it. That's it.
You're a natural talent. Okay, so if people want to find you online and follow your music, how do they go about that?
You could follow me on Instagram on Laporte Desi. That's my stage name, and all other social platforms by the same name.
Amazing. And come and catch you in the city performing live as well.
That'll be good.
Well, look, I'm going to let you get ready. Very, very excited to see you perform. But for now, are you ready for a magical duo? Mind to Mind on DXB today. Right now. Check it out.
Hey guys, I'm James.
I'm Marina.
We are Mind to Mind. We started our act, which is called Mind to Mind, and now our show Connected, 6 years ago right here in Dubai.
So I had no experience in show business before I met James, and James had a great, incredible career all his life. So when we met, we realized that we had this interesting connection between us. So we started working on it and realized that it can take us somewhere very interesting. And we practiced, and 6 years later, we have our show here in Dubai.
So when Marina and I first started performing, I took her to one of my brunches because I used to perform as a close-up magician. And I just wanted to see how it would go, so I took her along and we started approaching guests, and the reaction made me think, we've got something here. So then I immediately created a show reel. We started going to corporate events and we created a video of the act. And this was about 3 months in, and I posted it on Facebook. It was that point that somebody from Britain's Got Talent reached out and said, why don't you come on the show? I'm like, really? So I'm like, Marina, you've got 4 months. We're going to be on Britain's Got Talent. And to watch Marina go from never having been on stage at all to 6 months later going on one of the biggest stages in the world and performing for national TV in the UK and nailing it was incredible.
Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like a pro straight away. It was like complete natural.
I always knew that we had something to offer to the world. I always knew that we could take it very far, and just living our dream right now is incredible. If you asked us a couple of years ago what our dream would have been, we would tell you it's to have a theater show in our city, Dubai, and this is what we're doing now. So yeah, we knew it would happen, and we're happy it's happening.
So we're incredibly lucky to be able to perform in the theatre by QE2. This is a historic setting and icon that's travelled the world. It's an absolutely beautiful piece of history.
Right we are. I don't know if you've heard, but it's our last week of DXB today before we're off air for the summer. So we've gone all in. We're giving away loads of prizes every single day, all the way through to the end of the week.
Absolutely we are. We're generous like that. And tonight we're giving away 2 tickets to Warner Brothers theme park worth 700 dirhams and a VIP key, which gives you a year's worth of global membership to the Entertainer app worth over 1,000 dirhams. All you got to do, head over to the Dubai One Instagram page at Dubai One TV, find the competition post, let us know why you think you should win.
Yeah, best of luck. We would also love to hear from you, of course, so make sure you use the hashtag DXB today to let us know your favourite episode so far. What a show it's been today. Puppy yoga, okay, skateboarding. I'm not sure what I need to be doing after the show today.
Yeah, I don't think you can accuse us of not covering all bases when it comes to content.
I'm feeling zen, but I also want a puppy, so I'm not too sure where my...
We'll just go down to the
pet shop. Yeah, go down to the pet shop, Stray Dog Centre.
Great stuff. Thanks so much indeed, team. That's it for tonight. Still plenty to come. We will see you again tomorrow around about the same time for another exciting roundup of all things summer. But for now, to play us out, it's over to La Portesi.
Searching for the answers 1,000,000 miles away from home, from home. I'm thinking about a box I've been wondering all my life. Yellow, yellow. 1,000,000 miles is what it takes to tell us that you really care. 1,000,000 miles far away from home. Looking back on my young days, thinking about the things I've said and done. It's said and done. I'm knocking on the doors of hope, hoping that I'll find my way someday. Someday, yeah. 1,000,000 miles is what it takes to tell her that you really care. 1,000,000 miles far away from home, far away from home is where I belong. Deep down inside I miss her. 1,000,000 miles is what it takes to tell her that you really care. 1,000,000 miles far away from home. 1,000,000 miles is what it takes to tell her that you really care. Far away from home. 1,000,000 miles far away from home. 1,000,000 miles far away from home. 1,000,000 miles far away from home.